Bronx Middle School Math. We are done with Unit 1. We are moving on to Unit 2. Unit 2 is all about place value, the powers of 10, how we add, subtract, multiply, divide, how numbers get bigger, smaller, place values increase, decrease. We're going to do it all in Unit 2, and it's going to be fun. Unit 2 is a really fun lesson. But before we have fun, I think the number one question to ask somebody before you're about to have a fun time is this. So, do you like cheese? Because we are exploring place values through cheese. And this is going to be our introduction into place values. So, I have a friend. My friend's name is Ben. Ben is having a party, and he wants everyone at his party to have some cheese. So Ben bought a 1 pound block of cheese. That's this right here. And he's going to cut it into smaller pieces to make a cheese platter so that, everyone at his party can have cheese. That seems like a really fun party to go to, a cheese party. So this cube, this block is going to represent our cheese. We're just going to use that because look at how it's evenly broken up. It's very precise. Then we have slices, we have rows, sticks, cubes. This block makes it easier for us to break it up. So imagine that this is a 1 pound block of cheese. So let's label that so we do not forget. 1 pound block of cheese. Okay, so let's say Ben breaks this block up into 10 pieces. What would that look like? So we are dividing this entire block by 10. What would the pieces look like? Think about it. Try to imagine in your head, if I cut this cube up, if I cut this block, remember it's 1 pound, into 10 pieces, what would be the weight of each piece? What would be the weight of each piece? Well, let's not make life harder than it has to be. So for each person, each piece, we're going to put each piece over the total number of pieces. So how many pieces are there? Well, Ben is cutting them up into 10 equal pieces. So 10. And each piece is going to be 1. So each person is going to get 1/10 of this original block. If there are 10 equal pieces and 10 people. So 10 people, 10 pieces. This is what each piece will look like. This is what each person will get, 1/10 of the pound. So 1/10 of a pound. Well, what would that look like? What would the actual piece look like? This is what it would look like. We would get these slices. You see how it looks like slices? Ben just cut it right down this line. 1 slice, 2 slices, and he did that 10 times. So this is the fraction version. 1/10. 1 out of 10. So each over the total. And this is the decimal version, 1/10. It is the exact same thing. Whether it be fraction or decimal, these are the same thing, the same number, the same amount. Okay, so now let's do, if I made 100 equal pieces, what would that look like? If Ben, I'm sorry, not me, this is Ben's party, not my party. Ben is slicing the cheese. Ben sliced 100 equal pieces. What would that look like? So we are taking this 1 pound block. This entire block is 1 pound. And we are dividing it into 100 pieces. So if there are 100 people at the party, and each person gets 1 piece of cheese, so 100 pieces, each person, the weight of each would be, so 1 person over the total, 1/100ths of 1 pound. So each person would have 1/100ths of the pound. They would have 1 out of 100. Because remember, there's 100 total pieces and each person gets 1. So this is what it would look like. We would get these cheese sticks. Because you see, this is a slice. And remember, we had 10 slices. Well, look, each slice has 10 sticks. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sticks in each slice. So we could have done this. I can see that there are 10 slices, and each slice has 10 sticks. So 10 times 10 equals 100. There are 100 sticks in the entire block of cheese. But how would we represent 1 out of 100? Remember, we can do it decimal or fraction. We can do 1 out of 100, or we can do 1/100ths. So that's the tenths place, 100ths place. This one right here, that's the ones, because it comes before the decimal. So we have 1/100ths. Each piece, if we make it into 100 equal pieces, would be 1/100ths of 1 pound. Okay, let's go on. And this party is getting even more popular. So remember, we started out, this cheese party only had 10 people, and then we increased it to 100. Now we're in 1,000 people. So Ben has 1,000 people coming to their party, and each person gets 1 piece of cheese. So how many pieces is that going to be? That's 1,000 times 1 equals 1,000 pieces of cheese. So we are dividing this entire 1 pound block of cheese into 1,000 pieces. Okay, so what would that look like? So what would be the weight of each piece? Because we're breaking it into 1,000 pieces. So each piece, like each person is going to get 1 piece out of 1,000. Because each person